Oh, Radiohead, your favorite band's favorite band, and also probably the favorite band of that one guy who ghosted you on Hinge. Out of all of the Radiohead albums that exist, my favorite would probably be Kid A, tied with In Rainbows, depending on the day, fight me. But what's super fascinating is not just the music and lore of Kid A, but also the marketing techniques that they decided to use for this record. So keep in mind, Radiohead's OK Computer came out in '97. It received a lot of acclaim, a lot of commercial success, and Radiohead was at the top of their career. So how do you follow up your most famous album to date? You don't release music videos, barely do any photo shoots, don't release singles, and barely do any interviews. In a world that is very social media driven, you can't really do that today. But this was 2000 when Kid A came out. YouTube wasn't a thing, and the internet was barely a thing either. Radiohead were very much early adopters of this technology, and it seemed to serve them really greatly. Like I said, no music videos were made for Kid A, but what they decided to make instead were these 10-second clips called Blips with their friend Stanley Donwood. And Stanley Donwood has worked with Radiohead on a bunch of their album artworks and some of the side projects as well too. These clips ranged from odd little animations that will haunt you in your dreams to weird security footage of the band rehearsing and recording together. And it's just very bizarre to me, the fact that their record label was okay with this. I'm assuming they were okay with it because, yeah, it's not a traditional music video. It's not like what we saw with Karma Police or Paranoid Android. It's just these little snippets of sound bites from the upcoming record put to very bizarre visuals. On Radiohead's website, this was also the first appearance, I believe, that we see of the Radiohead logo, which is that freaky looking bear. And apparently the lore behind that is it was a story that Stanley Donwood used to tell his kids about toys that were abandoned and then would come back to eat the kids when they became adults. I think what is really encouraging is the fact that so much of this animation is very, very DIY, very rudimentary. Tom York, the lead singer, that looks like his face. It reminds me a lot of, I believe it's the baby from Tin Toy, which is that old Pixar animated short, where it's so uncanny, so freaky. It hasn't really aged well, but I think with Radiohead, that's kind of the charm. They want to scare you, but also comfort you a little bit too. So with Radiohead's Kid A turning, I think it's going to be 25 next year, I would love to see kind of a resurgence of these popping up online again, because they're really odd and really smart. I know tons of people who listened to Kid A and had no clue that this was a part of the lore and background of the album. And what's really cool too is Radiohead have all of these on their website that you can look at for free. I'll link that down below, but if you guys want to like, follow, and subscribe, I kind of have an idea down the road of talking about all things Radiohead album artwork. Just one big video, maybe like 100 facts or something. Gonna really, really push myself, but I want to reach a certain subscriber amount before we do that, so that'll be a little incentive. Anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts on if you've seen the Radiohead Blips. If not, please go check them out. They're very freaky, but very cool. See ya.